Australian Immigration Department is on fire. Australian Immigration Department is going to reduce the students at maximum level. This capping on international students will be by a bill. This bill is under process, and universities now are crying, colleges are crying, they are not happy, they are claiming technically that we already received 60% less students because 60% visas were refused by Australian Immigration Department. They are telling that we already receiving less number of the students and we are not going to sponsor ourselves. Remember, these international students pay a huge amount of the fee which actually are used to run these colleges and universities. On the other hand, Australian Immigration Department is telling that you have to admit domestic students as well, because when you will not admit domestic students, where these domestic students will go? Domestic students mean Australian citizen students. Remember, Australian citizen students will not pay fee and international students will pay very high fee, 3 to 4 times more than Australian citizen, and sometimes they have to provide free education to the Australian citizens. That's why universities are telling that we are able to sponsor ourselves only for 2 years if the same situation went in the future as well. Some private colleges are claiming that if you will not give us admissions and students will not come to our colleges, international students will not come to our colleges, we are going to close our colleges because we are not going to sponsor ourselves because they are self-sponsored college. Some sensible organizations in Australia is also requesting government and immigration department that education is a very sensitive field, because international students when entered Australia, they are not useful only for education as well, because they pay huge fee, but after their education, when they got degree, they are useful for Australian or companies as well. Some Australian companies are claiming that international education, when they get the degrees and they get their professional qualification from Australia, they are more hard worker than Australian citizens. And according to data, Australian citizens are not much hard worker than the international students coming from the overseas. But still the discussions are going on. Universities are in a danger, and what Australian Migration Department is thinking, more than that. Australian Migration Department is telling, we are not going to cap only, we are going to give you quota, and this quota will reduce the number of admission in specific colleges. Actually, they are following Canadian system. In Canadian current system, which I already recorded clip, in which IRCC bound all colleges of different provinces that you can admit international students up to specific numbers, and that will be a specific quota for the different colleges and universities. When you will cross that quota, your admissions will be cancelled, and international students will, applications of the visas will not be entertained by IRCC, Immigration Department of the Canada and Citizenship. So Australian Department of Home Affairs is imitating IRCC. Why we don't reduce the number of the students in each colleges? This capping definitely affect the international education in Australia. Australian government actually is not following the migrants' favor these days, because they have to run elections in the coming days, and they are technically gaining the sympathy of Australian citizens as well, and they will be able to tell in proud, look at that, UK is in fire, and Canadian citizens are claiming that Canadian government is not taking actions against migrants, and we are the only one, we capped international migrants. But I think capping on international students is not the solution of the problem. Capping on illegal will be the solution of the problem. Capping on asylum seekers will be the solution of the problem, because those illegal individuals are not useful. Donald Trump straightforward told the illegals who are coming to our country, I am against those migrants who are illegals. They are drug dealers, they are criminals, and if they are legals, if they are true person, if they are professional person, if they are true person, if they are true humans, if they are not bad people, why they are not going to use legal channel? Mean why they are not getting visa by embassies, and they are using border? It means they are not true people. So therefore, I think this capping on international students, a lot of criticism from Australia itself. Universities, colleges are main source of income for Australia, because they are giving admission, they are imparting quality education, but along with that, they are earning money for Australia. And students paid huge fee to pay huge fee to the universities. Universities some days before went to Australian Immigration Department also. They told that we are assessing the students. The procedure of admission is that we give admissions, and then we give admissions only when assess the students under new GST rule. and then we face to face conduct all informations, took all information from the student face to face, and we assess his documents, we verify his document from his home country by different source, and then we give admission, means certificate of enrollment. He deposited fee to our university bank account, and then suddenly when he applied visas to your Department of Home Affairs and you refuse the visa. It was not happening in the last months, in the last year, but now what's happening? I think there is an instruction from the government and from the immigration minister to the Australia that you have to refuse application as well. There was one scandal also came out when copy paste refusals were very popular, that immigration officer of the Australia is just copying and pasting refusals because he has to give refusal, especially refusal for some countries, especially Pakistan and India, that your political situation is worst and we are not giving you visa. Question is, if their political situation is worst, why you are taking application from those students? Why they are wasting their fee of embassy fee? And another question is that the some students from the same country are giving visa. It means why political situation in that student case was not fair. So these unjustified refusals are referred as a copy paste refusals. Now what could be in the future? I think this pressure of the universities and colleges will be on there, and immigration department actually bargaining. Actually the government is also bargaining with the universities. They are talking at which level universities and colleges will be agreed. I think this is a two-party games now. Australian immigration department I will ignore in the sense because they are following the government instruction. The government is planning by a bill to reduce the number of the student. It's not the immigration department, it's the government is making plan, because this government will also credit this positivity in front of the Australian citizens, that we are the people, we are the party who reduces the number of international students, who reduces the number of the migrants, to give more resources to Australian citizens. I think this is total antagonistic statement, because when an international student will not come, $60 billion will not come according to university, and they are telling that these $60 billion which already reducing day by day, we are not able to run our colleges and universities. Therefore the current status is that Australia putting pressure on universities to agree on quota system, but Australian universities are telling that 40,000 people may lose their job. This is also very significant numbers. The people are doing jobs in these universities and colleges, when definitely international students will not come, universities will not be able to pay their salaries as well. So unemployment ratio will be directly proportional to also lack of international students. This capping bill is being criticized and being appreciated as well. At one angle, the Australian citizens are appreciating when international students will not come, there will be less crime and there will be less asylum seeker application, and migrants number will decrease and housing crisis will resolve. On the other hand, universities are telling no, this will not matter, financial output further will decrease in Australia and housing crisis are not due to international students. Discussions are going on, and I will keep you updating with the true analysis and the true investigations. Thank you very much.